Well, hello again, sports fans. Something a bit different today. I've gone out and bought myself a quadcopter. It's a medium-sized copter, and I got it because it was on special at the International Warehouse, and it was plug and play, so I don't really need to put anything together. I don't know anything about quadcopters, and neither does anybody else at the club I fly at, so it's going to be an interesting learning experience, figuring out how to get it up in the air and keep it. So this is the first attempt to actually fly my new Quantum venture. I've done a little bit of hovering at home, and it's pretty windy today, but we'll see what needs to be done. Now that's looking pretty good. So this is in GPS mode, whatever GPS mode is. So the wind's coming from the left. So the up goes up. And down comes down. So the wind's coming from the left at a fair rate of knots, so doesn't look too bad. So I'll try some circuits in the middle of the field here. So I'm flying this line of sight. I've got the video recorder set up to record the footage from the quadcopter. As you can see from the insert, it's quite wavy, a lot of jello, so I'm assuming the props need a fair bit of balancing or some other action, but that's for another day. Can't seem to get it to go the way I want it to go. I can get it to rotate. So it doesn't take long to realise that it doesn't fly like a fixed wing plane really at all. The aileron control seems to move the whole quadcopter sideways rather than banking it into a turn the way a fixed aircraft would behave. To keep the nose facing forward to the direction of travel, you need to use the rudder control to yaw the whole quadcopter around. And you need to use the elevator to make the thing move forward. So it's quite a learning experience. I think I'm going to have to get a lot of practice in. I'm also having a lot of trouble keeping the orientation of the copter, which is the front and which is the back. It's especially at distance. So I've had the battery set for 7 minutes, so that's So that's 7 minutes. I'm going to try and land the thing now. Wind is pretty fierce. It seems to be coming down by itself. Well, I think that came down all on its lonesome. I'll have to check the battery. So I set the trims back to 0 and decide to have another go. Again, trying to keep it in sight, but the wind has really come up quite strong and it just blows away a lot quicker than I thought, and I again lose orientation and I'm struggling to get the thing to come back to me at all, and the transmitter starts telling me that I'm out of time and I'm heading towards this tree, and before I know it, it just reaches out and grabs me out of the air. So I'm a little bit stunned. Looks like it just hooked up there on the leg. So I grabbed a bit of rope out of the car and tie it to a stick and managed to throw it over the branch with the intention of shaking it loose and hopefully catching it when it comes out. It doesn't seem to be hanging on by very much. And surprise, surprise, I actually do manage to catch it. So there you go. Well, that was alright. So it doesn't look like any real damage has been done. Well, I think we'll call it a day after that little effort. So all in all, I'm going to call the afternoon a success. I'm not sure what the axial spinning is all about, though I'm hoping it's because I didn't go through the process of calibrating the compass before I started. Even though the first flight didn't seem to need it, the subsequent flights were really hopeless. I just couldn't control it at all. Maybe with a bit more experience I might have been able to do it, but not today. I also need to read up on the low voltage landing that it seemed to be going through. I'm just not quite sure what's going on there, and I just think there was enough power in the battery to keep flying, but I'll have to check that out. And also I think